morning, we're going to talk about what George is hitting on. But there's one thing I need you to get out of this message, nothing else. Every aspect of our lives, the Bible has something to say about it. There is wisdom on how to live our lives about everything. Even if the specific thing isn't directly mentioned in the Word of God, there are principles that guide our lives so we make right choices. There are very few people, especially if you've ever made a mistake in your life, that wants to repeat it. That was horrible. That was awful. Let's do it again. No one says that. How much better would it be to have learned how to not make the mistake and all the lessons that you could possibly make from the mistake, but you learn those and avoid the mistake altogether? And we're able to live wisely. The Bible commands us to be harmless as doves, but wise as serpents. We got to be wise. We have to know what the Bible says. Not, and here's the thing, you have to come to a place in your life, if you're a follower of Jesus Christ. This is more important than anything else. This is more important than what your neighbors say. This is more important what the pundits on TV say. This is more important than what society says. This, the Word of God, is most important. If it is not in your life, I question whether or not you know Jesus. Because he said, everything else is going to burn. This will last forever. Not this specific one, but the Word of God. Some people are going to be a little weird. Will last forever. That means it's our authority. So, as George said, Christians didn't vote much. I think there's a problem with that because there's a principle you're missing. That principle is found in a parable in Matthew 25. I want to read the whole story to you because I want you to get a whole feel for what's happening. Matthew 25, starting in verse 14. For it is just like a man about to go on a journey, who called his own slaves and entrusted his possessions to them. To one, he gave 5 talents. By the way, talents is money. We read it and we go, talents, oh, it's just abilities. It can be, the principle carries over, but in the story it's money. 5 talents. To another, 2. And to another, 1. Each according to his own ability. And he went on his journey. Immediately, the one who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them and gained 5 more. In the same manner, the one who had received the 2 talents gained 2 more. But the one who received the 1 talent went away, started holding around, and hid his master's money. Now, after a long time, the master of those slaves came and settled accounts with them. The one who received the 5 talents came up and brought 5 more talents, saying, Master, you trusted me with 5 talents. See, I gained 5 more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful slave. You are faithful with a few things. I'll put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your master. Also, the one who received the 2 talents came up and said, Master, you entrusted 2 talents to me. See, I gained 2 more talents. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful slave. You were faithful with a few things. I'll put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your master. And the one who had received the 1 talent came up and said, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you scattered no seed. And I was afraid. And I went away and I hid your talent on the ground. See, you have what is yours. The master answered and said to him, You wicked, lazy slave. You knew that I reaped where I did not sow and gathered where I scattered no seed. Then you ought to put my money in the bank, and on my arrival I would have received my money back with interest. Therefore take away the talent from him. Give it to the one who has the 10 talents. For to everyone who has, more shall be given, and he will have an abundance. But the one who does not have, even what he does not have, shall be taken away. Here's the principle, folks. We've been given amazing stuff. What are we going to do with it? I'm sick and tired of the argument, well, God is in control. That is true. But you're using that as an excuse. God is in control, so I just won't engage. No, God is in control, and He is giving us, here in America, a rare gift that almost all of mankind has never experienced. We have a say in our government. You go back, even just a few hundred years, that was unheard of. The ruler was either born into it or killed somebody for it. The guy who was the best with the sword was the ruler. Done deal. The biggest army, rule. Done deal. This one was born in the family, they are now the leader. They're 7 years old. It doesn't matter, they're the leader. That's the way it was always done. Democracy, a whole new concept. Our founding fathers changed everything. You know who started, who was the leaders in the revolution? Ministers. That's right, when the revolution started, a lot of ministers had their weapons in the pulpit. And they gave a sermon on why the revolution had to happen for their children and their grandchildren. And they often wore robes back then. They would take the robe off in front of everyone, throw it down, grab an arm, say, who's coming with me? And they left. They didn't go blind, they left, they grabbed a bag, and away they went, figuring they probably wouldn't return it. But their children and their grandchildren were worth what they were going to fight for. And that fight led to us having a vote. A chance to speak our mind. To say something about the governing of our nation. That gift was bought for us on the blood of those who've gone before. We should not take that lightly. Anyone who says, well, I'm just not going to vote. You're simple-minded at best. Lazy, evil at worst, as Jesus put it. Because God has entrusted us with a gift. We need to do something with it. Our vote should represent our values. If this book is most important in my life, then my vote should be reflecting the principles in this book. My vote should. So, couple weeks, we're going to election. I had an interesting discussion with a very smart friend of mine who's voting for a third-party candidate. I can't trust you, this is all the trouble. I vote for a third party. I said, well, then you're just throwing your vote away. Because you know the next president is going to be either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. No third party is going to win. It's not going to happen. It's funny, it's, well, I voted my conscience and I felt good about it. I said, that's great. Because if Hillary gets in, we're going to talk about this in just a minute, and she follows through on what she's promised. While I'm sitting in prison, I feel really good about you having voted your conscience. That'll make me warm and fuzzy. No. How stupid. And I told him that. I said, dude, that's dumb. You're the smartest guy I know. If you're going to vote for a third-party candidate, do a write-in vote and put yourself in. Because you made a great president. He's really smart. I have great respect for him. But he's making a bad choice. And let me explain why. Either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton are going to be our next president. So let's go back to those folks who don't like to vote because, well, God's in charge. He's going to take care of it. You're right. God is in charge and He's given us two options. And these are the only two options He's given us. Which means He wants us to choose one of them. Since He's given us the freedom to choose, and He's given us two options. So, it is up to us to look at the truth of the Word of God and apply it to our vote. So, when it comes to voting, let me tell you my biblical standing. I am not so concerned. I mean, I am. I don't like the idea that we would have a president who's immoral. I don't like that. Just so you know, the last candidate I was really, really excited about, I've ever been truly, who baby, was Reagan. Yep. I made phone calls for him. I was in college, it was exciting. I never done anything like that as part of the process. I had to do the absentee ballot thing because I was in Michigan. It was cool, filling all those circles. I had a part in it. It's awesome. But to be honest, neither of these candidates have the same moral standards I have. Okay, so that's up to me. I would like that, but here's what I'm looking at. If you are saying goodbye to somebody, and you're not going to see them for a long time, generally, those last words you give someone are important, right? You want to make the lesson. If you're lying on your deathbed, the last thing you say, you want it to be meaningful, right? You don't want to lie on your deathbed, the bedpan's full. You know, that's just not cool. They're not going to put that on your epitaph. What was the last thing you said? My bedpan overflowing. You know, that's no. You never see that in a movie. You know, in the movie, it's always the last. You know, I believe in you. Carry on the fight. And they always breathe their last. You know, it's really dramatic. Those actors are good because sometimes they don't move for like 30 seconds. I'm like, how do you do that? But probably a camera trick, I'm guessing. Anyways, the last thing is, when you're saying goodbye to a loved one you're not going to see for a long time, the last message you want to communicate to them is important. When Josh went down to Disney, I wrote him a letter. I gave it to him. I said, read it on the phone. It was my last message to him before he went to a whole different stage of his life. A whole new experience for him. And yet, I thought through everything I said. It was a father to a son kind of letter, how I was proud of him, and what kind of I expected. The last thing I said to him before he went was important. Because it was the one thing I knew he'd be thinking about as he went through tough times. In the same way, since we're wired that way, God knows that. What's the last command Jesus gave us? Check it out, Matthew 28. Sorry. Yeah, 28, 19 to 20. Go therefore, make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. When he finished saying that, he took off straight up into the clouds and was gone. This is his last message. Here's it. Remember this. Go and make disciples. Let them know about me. It's that important. Do everything I told you to. Go. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my final standard in choosing who I vote for. Which candidate will give me the freedom to do that, to obey my master? Which candidate is going to say, yes, you can tell people about Jesus. Yes, you can share your faith. Let's take a look at that. Which candidate is it? As I mentioned just briefly a few weeks ago, the whole difference between freedom of worship and freedom of religion. Seems like a simple separation. It's not. Every communist country that imprisons, tortures, and kills Christians, every communist country that does that has freedom of worship. You see, words are important. I love the argument, well, it's just semantics. Then why do they spend millions of dollars on speech writers to get the words just right if it's just semantics? That's stupid. If they're spending all that money on speech writers, the words are important, and these words are critical. Freedom of worship means this. And this comes not from a Christian source. This comes from the sources that are working with people who are being persecuted and killed, for the activists for human rights. Freedom of worship means within this building we'd be able to talk about Jesus, but as soon as you walk out that door, you don't mention his name. You do not carry your Bible around. You don't wear a Christian t-shirt. Freedom of worship means you have freedom to worship within the buildings that the state has approved. And if you, within this building, if I read that verse in this building and all we have is freedom of worship, I go to jail. Because I've commanded you to violate the principles of the government. That's what that means. Freedom of worship is incredibly restricted. There's no freedom at all. Freedom of religion, which our founding fathers came up with, was, man, you got freedom to do whatever your religion dictates. You want to talk about it, you talk about it. You have freedom. You want to share your faith, you share your faith. You have freedom. You want to have a discussion at a coffee shop about your faith, you can do that. Not under freedom of worship. Hillary Clinton, and last year's Barack Obama, have only referenced it as freedom of worship, not freedom of religion. And the human rights activists, not the Christians, not the right-wing Looney Tunes, the fairly liberal human rights activists are extremely conservative. So this is heading us towards a change in our country. Now, it might just be semantics, except you take someone's words. What they actually say. As Hillary Clinton said in the speech, fundamental Christians are going to have to change the way they think. Excuse me? I thought I had freedom to think how I wanted to. I thought I lived in the land of the free. No. When it comes to issues that she would disagree with me, I do not have the freedom under her to express my differences. I got to change the way I think so I fall in line. Folks, that's not freedom, that's communism. Are you kidding me? That's a dictator. You will think like I think or else. You know what? If I go to jail, I go to jail. I tried to get arrested once. I did. I'll confess. I was in high school. And back then, it was before Reagan showed up, so it was illegal to pray in high school during school hours. It's illegal. Couldn't do that. So I did. Every day at lunch, I got a pass from Mr. Coulson, Christian teacher, and we go to his room because he wasn't using it. And me and a bunch of other Christian kids would go, and we'd have a prayer meeting for half of the lunch period. We broke the law every day. And I was just waiting to get busted. You want to know why I wanted to get busted? It'd be the best advertisement for the Bible Club ever! All the rebels would have showed up. Dude, you got me busted. Yeah! So, I finally thought the day was coming because the lunch lady goes, where do you kids go every day? Because she had some time. Yeah, we go to Mr. Coulson's room and we have a prayer meeting. You know what she said? Could you pray for my cousin? He just gets What's her name? Okay. Getting arrested, going to jail for me, whatever. But you know what? It's not about just me anymore because I'm dead. It's about my kids. And someday, hopefully, more hopefully for my wife than for me, grandkids. I want them to have the freedom to tell their friends about Jesus. If any of their friends have a question about Jesus, I want them to have the freedom to ask my kid can tell them. Or they have the freedom to ask me and I can tell them, whatever that is. I want that freedom. Because with that freedom, I can live out my master's commands. Without that freedom, I will not be able to. Will I still be telling people about Jesus? Yes, but I will not have the freedom. Like we had at Fright Night last night. To communicate the gospel to a bunch of kids, and 43 of them will come forward. There's a lot of other issues out there, but for me, as a follower of Jesus Christ, that's most